already know what it is. Silent talk, silent talk, silent talk. Go and do it for me. Now watch me whip, kill it. Now watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, whip. Watch me nay nay. Why me do it? Now watch me whip, kill it. Watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, whip. Watch me nay nay. Can you do it? Now watch me, ooh, watch me, watch me, ooh, watch me, watch me, ooh, watch me, watch me.
Okay.
All right, here we are, back again for another grammar presentation. This one's on verbs. I'm Miss Parenti.
I'm Mr. Cavallero.
And I'm Mrs. Noe.
Let's go on a journey through verbs, folks.
You know this definition already.
Maybe. A verb expresses action or state of being. I haven't done this with my kids yet.
Oh, okay.
So what is a verb exactly?
Oh, keep going. We're trying to go
Jokes.
faster here. All right, here we go. The verb expresses action, and this is the one that you're most familiar and confident with. So I drove my car off of the cliff.
This is the Nike version. It's what you do.
Sheila drinks her coffee.
Both actions.
One of you?
So a verb expresses state of being. So I was happy until the alarm sounded next to my bed. So I is equaling happy. It's describing what you are. It's not an action.
And Mr. Smith is my science teacher. Mr. Smith equals my science teacher.
Yep, actually give it a try if you're trying to ID the type of verb. Substitute an equal sign in, and if it works, it sounds correct. There you go. Is there any such thing as a sentence without a verb?
That's
Miss
just
Noe,
silly
Miss
talk
Parenti.
right there. Just silly talk.
Think of your definition of a sentence.
No. All sentences have to have a subject along with a verb, and the sentence has to express a complete thought.
My kids better know that by now.
Yeah. Verbs can stand alone, or they may need help. All right, these are the discussion of helping verbs, which students have a problem with sometimes. So look at those two sentences. Was is in both of them, but in the first one, was is helping the main verb walking. In the second one, was is the verb, and it is acting as a linking verb there. It is saying, I equal a firefighter.
We now have Mr. O'Connell joining us.
Say hello.
Hi, everybody. What are you guys working on?
Verbs.
Excellent.
So the verb phrase was walking, that's an
Oh,
action
here we
in
go.
the
Yep.
sentence. And the word was is helping the word walking. Because if you said, I walking to the store, you sound like a caveman.
Yes, it's caveman talk. Don't do it. So what are helping verbs? So the most common form of helping verbs is the verb to be, but there are also some other common examples. Here's some to help you along the way.
All right, here we go. You can thank us, by the way. We took out the sound effects on this PowerPoint. I think this was a
Yeah, that was a much
typewriter.
needed
Yeah,
revision.
sound, yes.
There you go.
All right, you can pause this.
Just when you look at these words, this is a finite list of helping verbs. So they're, you have to be careful. It's good to memorize them. We might even sing them soon.
Or jingle verb song.
We have a jingle verb song. If you want to look it up on YouTube, it's great.
Jingle verb.
Moving on.
Helping
Oh,
verbs.
helping verbs.
So the helping verb and the main verb don't always end up right next to each other. Sometimes they're interrupted.
Somebody take the coffee away from Mrs. Noe. I think she's had enough. Settle down
So we've
over
got an
there.
example here. President Smith had always been speaking his mind. You can see separated by an adverb, always.
Ooh, getting the
They're
cursor involved.
right next to each other, yes.
By the way, helping verbs put verbs into a tense. When you say future tense or past tense, it's going to give, some more description about what that verb is actually when it's happening. So he will speak. He has spoken. The helping verb puts it into a context like that. And you want to think about foreign language with verbs too. You always start with the infinitive form of a verb and you conjugate it with a subject.
Tell them what infinitive is.
The infinitive is
The unconjugated form of a verb.
Right. So to be, or to walk, or to speak. I speak, you speak, he has spoken, all of those things. It's when you conjugate it with the subject. The two act together.
To annoy.
So the one thing with the question, the one thing with the question is a lot of times it's out of our regular speaking order. So we usually
Right.
speak in subject verb order, but when you have a question, which is bullet 2, you have the subject in the middle. You is the subject, and then your verb is split by that. So did you hear the news is a question, but if you changed it to a statement, you would
Yep.
say you did hear the news.
So
And
the
then-
order switches.
Right, and then the verb phrase would have been together in the statement.
Memorize them. We'll do it in class.
Yeah, that song will help.
Aw.
Aww.
See, I said that.
And we just went over that.
Oh, okay.
Compound verbs
Share,
So they-
yeah, go. No, go.
share the same subject, but they're usually separated by a conjunction.
Conjunction joins two things.
Yep. Tom went to the movie and ate some popcorn. Those are both actions being performed by Tom, but they're joined with a conjunction and. So he's doing both of those things.
We forgot to take the comma out.
Yeah.
I noted this.
We're bad people.
Yes, there should be no comma there.
There you go.
All right, if you have two or more verbs of different subjects, you simply have a sentence with more than one verb. It's not compound. So it might actually be two sentences joined by a conjunction.
Each
Called
has
the
their own-
compound sentence.
Each with its own subject and verb. Are we being too verbose? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Probably.
Jeez, keep going. This is
I like this
A lot
part.
of jokes.
I like
Oh my goodness.
more. Okay.
nerdy.
Action or linking verbs. Here's some examples for you to try out. These don't have solutions, so own it. Be confident. We'll go over them.
We'll just be quiet now so you can look at them and see if you can figure it out.
Yeah. All right.
What-
So
I think we
let's
should
go
say
through
the
some of
answer.
these.
Oh, yeah, I think we have
Yeah.
to say the answer.
So I would let them look at it.
Yep. Figure it out yet? Okay, so the first one, verb is gave, it's action.
Action.
Second one, verb is turned, action. Third one, the verb is came, action. Give, action. Easy, right? Now it's getting a little harder. Go ahead. You can do the
The
next one.
soup tasted bad. Linking.
Put your equal sign in. The
Yep,
soup
equals
equals
bad.
bad.
We were spoiled with the nice weather. You have a verb phrase there. I feel sick with grief. Action.
Wait,
Or
wait,
no,
wait, no,
linking.
no,
Just
no.
kidding. I equal sick.
Yes, did you catch
I
that?
broke my own rule, but I used the test, and so I fixed it. The girls became best friends after a time. Girls equal best friends. It's a linking
Linking.
verb.
I like that little test. I never thought
Yeah.
of that before.
All right, so this is, again, you should take a look at these. The first one, what do you think? Mrs. Noy, what do you think is the first verb?
I think it's leaking.
You were
It
correct.
is.
I equal.
your teacher.
Yep. How about the second one? Mr. Cavallero, your turn.
It's a linking verb again.
Tomorrow equals another day.
It does.
The
And-
flowers grew with the fertilizer.
The flowers equal the fertilizer?
No. Action.
Action.
I grew calm after losing my temper. Linking.
I equal calm.
Yep. An A will appear on your test when you study.
No, wait. Action.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You give me a second to
Sorry.
do my test.
Sorry, she was leaning over to look at it.
Adam Sandler will be appearing in a new movie. That is an action verb
Good job.
or verb phrase.
All right, take a look, guys. The first one, action.
Yep.
The second one, oh, by the way, it was dictates.
Oh.
And follow. There are two verbs in that one.
Action.
Yep.
So
Did you
don't
catch
go.
the helping verb? Do, go.
Even though it's a contraction, the not in there. This always tricks them.
I know.
The not in there is actually an
An
adverb.
adverb, so the,
Yeah.
the verb phrase is separated.
Not is not a helping verb.
Those are weird ones.
Yeah, it is.
I will be there in a minute. Action. I
Wait.
will be an astronaut.
Wait, did you
You go
say
back to
will be
3.
there? Is-
Oh,
That's
I
linking.
equal there.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so when it applies to location.
It's actually, okay, this is really
Yeah.
complicated. It's not linking, but it's not,
Not
action.
action,
It's
right.
a state of being verb. I exist. I will be existing there
There.
in a minute. So that is a state of being
memorizing
verb.
That's memorizing the linking.
Yeah,
verbs.
that's memorizing. So,
The next one is linking though.
Yep.
I equal astronaut.
right.
And then tell me your wish.
Action.
Command.
Yep. Oh, boy.
See, I don't do transitive.
Some of
and
us do
transitive
this and
line.
some of
Yeah.
us don't. Basically, you just have to know that transitive, well, you don't have to know it, but eventually we'll start talking about direct objects. Transitive verbs take a direct object. So you can look at this. I think we can probably skip it. If they want to know it, they can. Do we have to go over it?
Well, yeah, and I mean, this helps them later on with parts of a sentence with direct
Okay,
object and
sure.
indirect object. But I don't make my kids learn transitive action
No,
verbs
the
and
words
intransitive.
transitive
Yeah.
versus intransitive don't really do that either. But the first one does take a direct object. What did I give?
Mine don't know what those
I
are yet.
gave a piece. Yeah, that's why. I mean, this is going to, a future lesson. But I took, what did I take? I took it.
It.
The next one doesn't have any object. I walked. It doesn't say what I walked. I walked.
It actually
Where?
answers where.
Yeah. So it has to answer, in order for it to be a direct object, it has to answer the question, what or whom. Okay, and if it can't answer, if there's no word that answers that question, then it's not transitive.
So I
So
think for some of these, like, we can let
Yeah.
them, if they want to read it, they
if
can.
you, if you want to understand that and try for that, that's okay. But if you don't, no worries.
So we'll just cycle through
Yeah.
these.
So you
So
can look
if
at
you
it.
want to pause and take a look, you can see the difference.
Yep.
Yeah. I give the, like the example, if I said, oh, I'm painting, that's intransitive. But if I say, I'm painting
But
a
explain what.
picture, that's transitive. So intransitive, the first example, there was no object. It didn't say what I was painting. It just said, I'm painting.
Sorry,
The
folks.
second one said, what I'm painting. Mrs. Chapman just joined us.
Hi.
We're getting lots of special guests.
It's recording.
Okay, go ahead. So,
Oh,
Oh,
there we
oh,
go.
we left one
We
out.
had to give you one sound effect.
There you go. So these are categories.
Yep. You have linking action transitive and
So-
action intransitive.
Right.
And for my kids, as long as you're just, like, you're labeling verbs.
Yep.
You don't have to know if it's linking,
Right.
helping, like, you just have to note it, like, know what all the verbs in a sentence and label them verb.
Yeah, mine have to know the difference between action and linking. Yikes, it's getting
Oof.
tough, guys.
It is.
That's why
It's
I
layering
think this is the
quickly.
part
Yeah.
that if they want to do it, they can do it.
Yep.
Right.
They just
You
need
can
to be able
ID
to,
the verb,
yeah,
the
ID the
verb
verb.
phrase.
Are the
Very good
answers
shape.
given in this PowerPoint? That's the question.
Not, they haven't been.
No,
They
they
aren't.
haven't. They
Whoa,
are
that was
not.
the last
Okay.
thing.
Oh my goodness.
What just happened? All right, so here we go. These are the three categories of verbs. Some of us want more detail than others. For me, it's the difference between linking and action right now is good enough.
And for me, as long as you know the verb is good enough, you should know the difference between linking and action, or else you're going to miss a lot of the linking verbs.
Right.
Okay, so
But
let's
there
go
is
to
some
the-
other practice.
All right, so pause and take a look at these sentences and see if you can tell the difference between, I think you can press one more time because it gives
Yeah.
the directions at the top. Yeah. Linking, action transitive, or action intransitive?
So try linking versus action first, and then see if you can ID whether the verb's transitive or intransitive.
All right, you ready? Okay, so would want
Mhm.
is a transitive action verb because it's saying Pedro Martinez, by the way, I left the not out because that's not a helping verb. So would want what? Would want second place rotation. The next one is appeared, and that would be an action verb.
Intransitive.
Intransitive.
Intransitive action. The stars simply appeared. It says how they appeared and where they appeared, but it doesn't say what or whom they appeared. So the stars simply appeared. Action intransitive. The next one appeared is
Linking.
Linking.
linking. I equal
Yeah, I like
nervous.
that.
Yep.
I really like that.
It's a
test.
great test.
Yeah, and also I spoke is another subject verb combo there.
Right.
And that would be just a simple intransitive action verb. It doesn't say what I spoke, it just says I spoke.
Mhm.
And the final one, Mr. Cavallero, take it away.
It is a linking verb.
Is.
Is Johnny Damon equals my favorite player.
There you go. Thus ends the verb PowerPoint.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Until next time.